Hey guys, William Bryce here coming at you with another championship belt review video. Now this is another entry in my road review series where I take a look at championship belts from local indie promotions here in the Midwest. And I'm really excited to bring you this video today because this is a video for All Class Independent Wrestling, a brand new company who is having their first show here in about a month on November 3rd in Waterford, Michigan. And actually, at that show, they will crown their first heavyweight champion in a match between Dylan Derringer and Tommy Vendetta for this top championship right here. Now, with this one, it's a little bit different because I'm actually going to be showing off their tag team championships in the same video because there's a sense of uniform and continuity that I want to talk about here in just a little bit. Additionally, I'm also really excited to do this video because All Class Independent Wrestling is a company that I will be ring announcing for on November 3rd, and I'm really excited about this new relationship. So there will be links down below, and please make sure to click on those links and give them a like, share, and follow as well. Before we go into the close-up part of the video, I want to talk about some of the things about these championships right off the bat. Now, as I mentioned a second before, the biggest thing that I see when I look at these belts is a sense of uniform, a sense of continuity, and I love that. Now, if you're a fan of the current Ring of Honor championships, you know what I'm talking about. There's a certain sense of when you look at these belts, you know they're for the same company, even if you're not looking at the logo, even if you're not looking at the name. And I love that because it's a really great way to represent your company and for your champions to represent your company. We see the heavyweight championship here on top and the tag team championships in the middle and bottom. And even the main plates have the same basic shape without being a carbon copy of each other. And to me, that strikes the perfect balance on these championships. We do see that the top and the bottom are the furthest peaks on these championships. On the tag teams, the sides come out a little bit further, but on the heavyweight championship, it comes in a little bit, and it's a lot more intricately detailed as a heavyweight championship should be. What's also really cool is we have some of those differences, such as the leafing that we see on the heavyweight championship, and then we have the pillars that remind you of almost Greek architecture, like the Parthenon. And it really just brings that extra sense of regalness to the championship because when you think of the Greek warriors, you think of greatness. And that's what you want to be represented in a championship belt for a wrestling company. You want people to associate it with greatness. Another thing that I really love about these championship belts is it's not too crazy with the colors. We have the black straps, we have the gold. I mean, you gotta have the gold. And then you have a blue backing that you'll see here in a little bit. And that blue backing is actually complemented, in my opinion, by the blue that we see on the globe here on the side plates on the main championship and the blue background that we see behind the wrestlers on the tag team championships. So to me, it's perfectly balanced between looking professional, looking classic, and not looking too busy. I say this a lot, and you guys know I love championship belts. Obviously, I've made a whole channel based on doing them, but this really is one of my favorites. And I remember looking at these championship belts thinking, I don't know which one I like better because I like them both for all the reasons listed a moment ago. Now, I will say, objectively speaking, that I do think that the heavyweight championship is a little bit more pristine, but I think that that's the way it should be. And the reason why, I'll talk about right now, is we do have some gemstones on this championship. And that does not take away from the tag team championships in any way, shape, or form. But it does make this championship stand out. You want your heavyweight championship to stand out because your heavyweight champion is representing your company. And I know that either Dylan Derringer or Tommy Vendetta, whoever wins that match, will do a great job with that. And they'll have the belt to help them do that. Now, in a moment here, we're going to take a close-up look at these championship belts and see a little bit more of the details that I was talking about. And you'll see that even in the close-up details, we have more differences between the heavyweight championship and the tag team championships that just give them a little bit more of a unique identity to themselves, while once again maintaining that feeling of continuity being for the same company and representing the same company. Now, before we go into that close-up, I do want to show you guys a little bit about the material because you guys know I love to talk about it. This is indeed that real leather, that veg tan leather that looks professional quality, that is professional quality, and that is going to look great on camera and on TV. It's got the flexibility of a real use championship belt that you would see from the big name companies. When it sits on my shoulder, or when it sits on Vendetta's or Derringer's shoulder for the first time, it's going to look amazing. This is not a toy belt. This is the real deal. And being another championship belt brought to us by Hyperion Championship Belts, I expect nothing less, quite frankly. So when this championship is won, it is going to represent the champion, and the champion is going to represent all-class independent wrestling, and it is going to be a great look and a great feel, and great for fans to take pictures with as well. Because don't forget that fans want to be seen with these championship belts, and they want to be seen with the champions. And the companies that have these belts want to be represented the right way, and all-class independent wrestling is off to an amazing start. Now, that is the heavyweight championship, of course. We also have the tag team championships that have that same feel. There is no sacrifice in quality when you go from the heavyweight championship to the tag team championships. Just as much detail, just as much work went into both of these championships, and you can really feel it. You can really see it. And that is so important when you're trying to represent your company as some kind of champion, and when you have your championship belts themselves representing the company. So in just a second here, we're going to do that close-up that I was talking about, look at some of those details, and then I'll hit you up with a couple links just so you guys can know better how to support me and how to support all-class independent wrestling and how to support Hyperion Championship belts as well. Here we are with the close-up portion of the video where we're going to take a look, and something that you can see in these videos is that these championship belts don't just have the 2 side plates, they have 4 side plates. Now, that's actually a classic look that I prefer, that I don't talk about very much, because so many companies, such as WWE, have gone to the 2 side plates, 1 on each side look. And really, there's nothing wrong with that, but there is something that takes me back to the old school WWE championships, the old school IC title championships that I just really love. And once again, this is where we can see that detail that I was talking about a moment ago, where we have the black, the gold, and the blue, where it doesn't look too busy and it strikes the perfect balance between being varied but not too varied. So as we close in here, we're going to see on both championship belts the hand tooling of the Hyperion Championship belts and what they've done here. As we move to the main plates of the Heavyweight Championship, you're going to see just all this etching as we move in even closer, and the gemstones that are on these Heavyweight Championship as well. Now, when we come over to the main plate, we see a very, once again, uniform look to the background that we see even in the etching behind where we have the main logo on the Heavyweight Championship. And of course, that look is going to continue all the way throughout the rest of the championship. Now, as we come down to the tag team championships, we still have the same number of side plates, and we have that reiteration that this is the ACIW tag team championships on the side plates themselves. We also have those pillars, once again, calling back to the warriors of ancient Greece, and I think that is just a really great thing to have. We'll see that especially true on the main plate because that literally borders the main part of the championship, which I think is fantastic. And as we move in closer on these ones, you'll see a different design that is still complementary of the main title, of the heavyweight title, with this leafing that's been etched into the entire background. And once again, we see that symmetry on the other side of the championship belt, as you would expect. Now, one thing that I would like to point out also on the heavyweight championship at the top of the main plate is that we actually do see those pillars peeking out. And that's something that with a closer look, once again, harkens back to ancient Greece, but it also creates that sense of uniform and that sense of continuity between the heavyweight championship and the tag team championships. So we're going to move on to that next part of the video here and talk about those links. So once again, as we see from that close-up portion of the video, there's a lot of details that go into these championship belts that just make them beautiful and professional, that make them all class. And that is so perfect for a company like All Class Independent Wrestling. Now, speaking of All Class Independent Wrestling, once again, those links are going to be in the bottom, so please give them a like, share, and a follow, because supporting them is really supporting me and vice versa. And I know the people who are going to be running that company definitely deserve it. And I can tell you that they deserve it. You can find them online at acIwrestling.com and ACI Wrestling and All Class Independent Wrestling on social media. Please also give me a like, share, and a follow at Duality William Bryce, because it really helps me out as well. And I appreciate your guys' support more than you will ever know. Additionally, Hyperion Championship Belts and Hyperion Belts is also on social media, and every single championship belt that I've held of theirs, I've loved and wanted to, if I haven't done a video on it already. So give them a follow as well, because honestly, they do great work. Last but not least, if you're in the area, or if you're willing to make the drive, or who knows, maybe even fly, take a yacht, whatever you got to do, please come and support All Class Independent Wrestling on November 3rd in Waterford, Michigan at the Royal Banquet Hall. It's going to be a great show, and I hope to see all of you guys there. It's going to be really exciting, and we're going to have some great names there, like Tommy Vendetta, like Dylan Derringer, and like Gideon Malice, and so many more. I really can't wait to see you guys. And once again, thank you for watching. Can't wait to see you guys next time.